What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. The reason why we're talking about XCN today is because I think it is at a relatively good area to buy. I'm sure a lot of cryptos are, right? Especially with the last 48 hours in effect. I think a lot of cryptos are, but we are in this kind of like double bottom look. Even if we go lower, I think it is a relatively good area to buy, and I want to go over why. So let's assume that this isn't the low, right? I do actually think this has a solid chance of being the low, what happened yesterday. But if it's not, we're going to assume it's not, because if I take this high here and I put the low right there, okay, that's our fib extension targets right there. But if it happens to be lower, the targets go up, they won't be as relevant or as accurate as we might be looking for. So I'm not going to use this fib. Normally I would, but we don't have enough confirmation yet. Though this does look like a nice area to bounce, and I'm pretty confident we do bounce out of this area. We're going to use the previous fib. This high to this low went all the way up to the 1272, and the reason we're using this fib is to look for the next target up. Generally speaking, whenever you hit one level for resistance, you look for the next level to be your target, right? Like that's your minimum expectation, which from the current price right now at 0.00161 would give you about a 3x. And looking at how this thing moves up, it doesn't seem to take a lot of time. I mean, sure, this is a weekly basis. It can take, it can be in a course of like a month to 2 months is what it could take for this to happen when it decides to move up. But at any rate, a 3x is not a bad look, and this is the technical target, right? The next fib level up. But to be completely honest, I don't think after all this consolidation, I don't think that we're going to hold on, guys. I gotta get that shit's got to cut out. All right, can't be having that, man. I am tired of that. I don't think that we're going to stop there after all this consolidation. I think that we're going to go at least to the 1618, if not the 1886, and there's a good possibility we could see this 1886 come into effect. Okay, if we take this high and we assume that that is the low, your 1886 is in between the 1414 1618 of this area, so we could, the 1886, we might not stop there, we might fall just short, or might go just above it. Kind of lines up here. If we go lower, these fibs could line up a lot more, but we don't know where the low is, right? The reason I like this 1886, beyond just the fact that it separates two key areas of fib extensions from this potential fib range here, is that from this high to this low, we literally tipped the 1886 here, right? We literally tipped it, and then we came up and went to the 2272. If we take that into consideration, we actually might be following this fib extension up as well. The next level would be the 2618, all the way up to really the 3618, anything up and over here, and that does line up pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, the 2618 lines up very well with this 1618, which again, if you remember, right, I'm going to take this fib away now, is the kind of minimum target that I would have for this move right now, this next leg up. The main reason why, the technical target would be the 1414 technically, but I don't think, again, after all this consolidation, I don't think we're going to work our way back up just to have a slightly higher high. I think it will be a little bit more significant than that. The 1618 here, the golden extension itself, comes in line pretty well with this area of resistance here. I wonder if it actually comes in line with anything else. Not really. It's a little bit above the 382. Okay. You break above your 382 a little bit on the first attempt. That's normal, actually. And then, it lines up very well with this 2618. The 1618, the 2618 lines up very well. We are, in my opinion, respecting this fib range, this extension, this whole play here very well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see that happen, but all in all, the next target, in my opinion, at a minimum would be about just over half a cent, maybe even 0.6 cents, which from here would give us a minimum growth of about 3.5x, right? 250%, potentially more is on the table. So I think it's a really good time to get in. That could likely those prices could likely be achieved over the coming months by the end of the summer. So I think that's a nice opportunity, let alone if it goes higher. Of course, it could go higher. You never know, but perhaps we work, all the way up here. Perhaps this leg is a little bit more grandiose than the last couple have been, and we move all the way up here. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just saying, there's a lot of possibility. It doesn't have to stop here. It doesn't have to stop here. So I don't know. Good price to get in. I'm heavily debating buying more right now. I haven't bought any yet, but I will let you guys know if I do. Yeah, man, I'm actually very much debating buying this right now. I have enough, in my opinion, right? I've got enough for my portfolio. I do like the idea of diversifying. I like this coin a lot, and I think it'll do well. So it's really conflicting for me to not put more money in it right now, especially when I think I really do believe this is a good price, and this would actually bring my dollar cost average way down, because my average, I want to say my average on this thing is all the way up here, right? We're down about 37-40%. I don't have, I mean, with how far we've dropped, I would wonder, I don't know if I would have enough to double down on the total value of it, but pretty damn close. I could essentially bring my dollar cost average down a pretty significant amount if I were to buy here, but I don't know if I'm going to. I'm rambling at this point, guys. The video is over. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. I probably won't buy this one. I'm probably going to buy something else, honestly, and that's not because I don't think this is a good chart. I do think it's actually in a really good area to buy. I just have, I have enough. I've got my allocation set. I'm not really worried about it. I don't need to add to it more. I would add to it more if we happen to go a little bit lower, but I don't think we're going to get that. We are at an area that potentially we could find support here, as we have here, as we have here, as we found resistance here, as we found support. It's just kind of a straight line right across, right? All the dots connect. Somewhat of a significant area, relatively speaking. So even resistance back here and support back here, all relative to this zone. So I very much do expect that we will start to see positive price action take place over the coming days, especially over the coming weeks, and that's all I got to say. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for being here. I would assume sometime in August we are at 3 times higher the current price than we are now.